Good night, Bia.
Good morning. Só um pouquinho.
Good morning.
Pode começar. Good
Good
morning.
morning. It's a big pleasure for me to be here participating of this big event. I would like to thank for the invitation, and I'm sure this will be a big event. Thank you very much. Today, I'm going to talk about sustainability of organizations during and post-pandemic. I'm Dr. Beatriz Lucia Salvador Bisotto from the Unifac West University Center. The first topic that we will talk about is the economic and environmental sustainability. In here you have a small chart here showing the topics that we are going to talk about that goes through environment, society, economy, recycling buildings, preserving history, and historic tax credits. Sustainability is the nexus of society, the environment, and the economy. The sustainability in the companies, so to speak, the business sustainability is a concept that ranges the environmental, social, and economic subjects. After all, being sustainable means having the capacity to sustain economically, socially, and environmentally. The term sustainability became more popular among the companies after the consumers started requiring from the companies the environmental and social responsibility by their activities. The coronavirus pandemic presented crucial circumstances for the companies to incorporate the three pillars of sustainability: the social, environmental, and economic. Now we're going to discuss what has changed in the companies with the pandemic. With the pandemic, the companies had to reorganize and establish new work methods and ways to get profit, like the home office, for example. The health cares and the wealth of the employees are facts now that the current scenery has been awakened. Besides of the concern with society that is more rigid with the restriction to contain the virus propagation, the solidarity efforts became in a matter of survival. A question that I am asking myself now is, will the sustainability post-pandemic become a competitive factor? The economy must be circular. The organizations that integrate the environmental, social, and economic subjects will reduce the uncertainties of the market and will increase their profits. Sustainability is conditioned as a competitive factor, impossible to dissociate the terms. Now let's talk about competitiveness. The questions good to be made here are: who remains in the market? What will be the companies and people will be active again? The companies which always had a proper financial planning, the companies which knew how to take advantage of the crisis to create opportunities innovated. They adopted different technological strategies. They invest in the security of their employees and the society. The people who made a difference on the top of the crisis who took advantage of the withdrawal to increase their technical and academic skills and interacted with the society. Pandemic and sustainability, the impact in the consumption and business. Impact in the consumption, talking about clothes and accessories. It was discovered that it's not necessary to acquire many clothes and shoes. It's not necessary in exacerbated consumption. The fear of losing the job obligated the people to rethink the consumption. And now the impact in the food consumption. People started to make their own food at home, reduction of cost in restaurants and similars. People started enjoy making their own food at home. The pandemic made the population rethink. Now we are going to talk about things that we have to consider a lot. The world won't be the same. The people humanization has changed. The universal concern is equal for everybody, indifferent of the academic level, if you are rich, poor, your religion, and geographic region. The uncertainty is universal. The planet is not the same anymore. As the world is not the same anymore, neither the companies nor the people, we need to know if it is possible to survive the pandemic being profitable with creativity. The science is a desire for all, but at the same time, it's difficult to explain this to the population. Science requires much study and many tests. Many countries want to be the holders of the famous formula which will eliminate and cure the COVID. Now we're going to talk about the new activities which appeared during the pandemic times and the new job opportunities. In the retail, we have logistical, education, services, technology, e-commerce, for example, motorboys and Ubers, teachers in the remote modality, and health. Increasing of 50%, 100% health attendants, people who works with health. An important question is it possible to be profitable in the pandemic? 11 Brazilian companies innovated during the pandemic crisis of COVID 19. It will not be showed the names here, not to have publicity, but they are construction companies, the union of four telecom companies, sites for standalone professionals, startups chefs club, chains of stores, online platforms, sporting goods brand, cosmetics brand, the union of a technology company and a bank, logistics. Let's talk first about the construction companies. The innovative strategy was prepare their digital channels in order the seeking of buying of apartments, and the documentation process were made completely online. Even with the closing their selling stands and the delay of the prescribed for the first trimester, the campaign reported an increasing of 28% in their sellings compared to the last year. Now we're going to talk about the union of four telephone companies. Among the actions adopted by the companies in the 100% digital attending, make available the virtual technical support, releasing of signature channels, internet bonus, and grant of franchising to access the official government apps and the sanitary authorities. Sites for standalone workers. The standalone workers are the most affected during the current scenario of social withdrawal. For the 1.5 millions of professionals registered in the app could continue their jobs in the quarantine, a startup intermediary of standalone services launched a platform that makes possible the hiring of a small assistants by video or phone calling. After selecting the desired service, the company connects the client to a professional to keep in touch in order to make an agreement between the parts through WhatsApp, including the payment. Startup Chefs Club. They made partnerships with food brands. The Moshow initially united more than 1,000 establishments of on the food sector in the platform in a national scope. After the accession, were provided a total of 1,000 vouchers, which could benefit not just restaurants, but pubs, coffee shops, and candy shops. The help to the establishments is made by the buying of a client of a voucher with 50% off that will be used after the place be reopened. Stores chain. A survey made by the company of the 5 million retail trades existent in Brazil, only 1% act in the digital commerce. In this way, the new platform has the objective to allow that the small retail traders, which still don't have a digital presence, can set in a simpler manner their own virtual stores. Online platform. A startup also put their staff available to give assistance to the companies and private institutions that need resources for live broadcasts, for courses, and the other tools which can contribute in the instruction of the classes. A brand of sporting goods. Its ecosystem of digital apps were utilized as well as the chain of coaches, specialists of the company, in order to make the registers in the app fast. Only in China, the number of active weekly users in all the apps of the company increased 80%, generating an income of 10.1 billions in the end of the first trimester. A cosmetics brand. The pandemic required a big demand for online buying. In this way, the achievement of the e commerce planning needed to be agile. A digital consultant was an alternative necessary and profitable. Masculine clothes market. The artificial intelligence makes possible direct chats by SMS, WhatsApp, Facebook, or email. The online shopping passed from 20% when the stores were opened to 70% with all the services online. The union of a company and the technology and the bank. Both companies from different branches decided to get together to support entrepreneurs to digitally transform themselves. The goal is generating and helping more than 2,000 physical commerces in the cosmetic and food area to set up their own virtual store. Logistics. The company, which is specialized in e commerce delivery, is attending more than 1,000 towels. Concerned with the security and the contagion prevention among the employees and clients, they developed an app that permits the confirmation of the goods receiving by voice command, making unnecessary the contact between the client and the person who delivers it. If you want to have a good idea, have many ideals. Thomas Edison. Thank you very much. It was a big pleasure to participate of this event, and I'm here for next invitations. Thanks a lot.